What if Slender Man was in Dead by Daylight? I'd like to give a special shout out to True Talent for letting me use his Slender Man idea. I've taken his base and I've built upon it to fill in the gaps that weren't filled in and to try to keep it as true as possible, no pun intended. The idea going forward with these killer concept videos is to create something that would realistically fit into DBD and be fun and balanced for both sides. So thanks True, and shout out to Joshua TXI for helping me flesh out a few of these ideas. So what if Slender Man wasn't Dead by Daylight? Killer, the pale one. The pale one's terror radius isn't audible, but visual, with static consuming the survivor's vision the closer he gets. He moves at 4.4 meters per second, but has passive phasing where he jumps to his next location as if teleporting around in static positions. Power, quantum walk. The pale one will teleport to a survivor's location, teleporting the survivor to his previous location. This will encourage survivors to stay away from each other, as he could get a hit on the person next to the survivor. There are 8 pages scattered throughout the map. 2 spawn at one time. For each page found, the pale one's teleporting ability is disabled for 30 seconds. But if a page is not taken in 60 seconds, all survivors become exposed. Staring at the pale one for too long has its defects. Upon staring at the pale one consecutively for 10 seconds, you are inflicted with the following status effects. Tier 1. The survivor will be inflicted with the exhausted status effect for 30 seconds. Tier 1 is permanent, but they will not become exhausted again. Tier 2, the survivor will be inflicted with the blindness effect that lasts for 30 seconds. Tier 2 is permanent unless a survivor finds a page and can move back to Tier 1. And Tier 3, the survivor will be inflicted with the hindered status effect for 30 seconds. Now, Tier 3 does decay back to Tier 2, but never less than Tier 2, so a survivor will be forced to find a page to get themselves back to Tier 2 or to Tier 1. This can easily be avoided by not looking at Slender Man. It's passive and it just encourages a bit more careful play. And I think it'll make the game a bit more scary. Now, if all survivors are in Tier 1, the entire team will have a -5 reduction in repair speed, which is permanent. So this does encourage each and every survivor to be as careful as possible when Slender Man is around. Otherwise, playing foolishly will debilitate your team. If all survivors are in Tier 2, they have a -15 reduction in healing speed. Now again, this can be reversed back to Tier 1, but this can be reversed by a survivor finding a page and going back to Tier 1. Now, if all survivors are in Tier 3, all survivors who are injured become broken until the survivor decays back to Tier 2 or finds a page to kick themselves back to Tier 2. If you're not repairing generators, you should be finding a page. Only 2 can spawn at one time, remember. So to prevent Slender Man from becoming more powerful, you have to find the pages. This does take inspiration from how you play against Pinhead, finding a box, opening it, to get rid of the chains, but of course this is a bit more detrimental to your team. Therefore, your entire team will have to mess up for the total debuffs to kick in. Now, moving on to perks. Perk 1, arms wide open. They fall right into your arms. Dropping a survivor is 30 to 35 to 40% faster. A survivor does not gain wiggle progression when dropped. Now, this perk has a lot of potential. It is a bit niche because obviously it would be mostly useful for when you are going against a Sabo squad or anyone who's blocking hooks. So I wouldn't classify it as super strong, but it has its uses and it could be a really good perk against certain teams. Perk 2, Omniscience. You bend the rules. Upon hooking every survivor once, you gain the ability to completely drain the most repaired generator back to 20 to 10 to 0%. In turn, giving all charges to the nearest generator. This perk can only be used once. Imagine there's completely split gen pressure across the map. Imagine being a slower killer such as Huntress or a Death Slinger who can't really work around the map too well. And imagine going, wouldn't it be more convenient if this generator was about to get finished right here instead? And then you brought all the charges from that generator to this one. Now, mind you, you still had to work for it. You still had to hook everyone once, and you can only use the perk once, but this could be a game changer in tight situations. I think that would be a really well done perk if implemented into the game. Lastly, perk 3, Indoctrination. Their playtime is not over. Some of y'all not gonna like this one. The progress of exit gates regresses by 10 to 15 to 20% when not held down. Look, it'll be really cool if we had a perk to regress exit gates. It will make in-game play so much more tense, so much more entertaining to watch too. So for survivors in a situation where one person is on hook and the gates are 99, they would be like, oh my God, we're gonna have to sit one person at this gate. We can't have 2 people over here at this gate, or else this is gonna be a simple hook trade, we need to figure out what we're gonna do. So the survivors will have to make a huge decision in to either leave right away or to leave one person at one exit gate and not have an option for the other exit gate. Otherwise, it'll just be a single hook trade. And for the killer, it would open the door for the killer to either secure a kill or push the survivors out sooner than expected, or get the end game started sooner than expected. Like I said, I might be biased, but I did my best to make sure that everything that went into here has either counterplay or that either side has to work for it. But Slender Man would be a very powerful killer over the ones that don't play smart or together. But yeah, what if Slender Man wasn't Dead by Daylight? This is how I would like to imagine him, something like this. If y'all want some more of these, be sure to leave a like, leave some killer ideas down in the comments. I already got a couple of them built up, so let's just see what we can get going. Once again, thanks to True for letting me use his idea. Thanks to Joshua for helping me out with him. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Follow me on Twitch or else.